Hi, my name is Mark Monlux, and this is another episode of Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is where a bunch of artists get together online and share what they're drawing. I'm located in Tacoma, Washington. I'm a freelance illustrator. I have a couple books that I call The Comic Critic Presents. There are cartoon movie reviews. You can find access and links to me and my information down here in the information. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
I am Bill Morse. I'm a cartoonist and illustrator working out of Seattle, Washington, and I also do a comic strip called Rhapsodies, which is on the link in the doodly-doo.
Hi, my name is Locke. I'm a freelance illustrator, I guess. Right now, I'm actually working on a Kickstarter, some pinups and stuff.
Oh, so, cool.
That's pretty much it. I'm working on a pinup right now. So
yeah, I've been beginning to start working on a Kickstarter myself. Well, I'm sort of in the logistical planning stage of a series of watercolors. The one that I'm nearly finished right now is this one here. If anybody is interested,
cool.
As I think I'm 2/3. I think I've got an hour worth of work left on it.
Bill, you're coming across very loud. Is there any way you can turn down the volume on your microphone?
I can, but everybody's beginning to sound soft to me. I have it so low right now.
Okay, never mind. Sorry about that. I know I have you turned down a fair degrees. Let's see. Oh, that's what you've been working on the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, I think I'm about 3/4 done. I'm probably going to be wasting a lot of time with the tone of the leaves today, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's for a idea I've been playing with for the last couple of months. The working title is Patience, the Green Girl of Green Lake. And at the moment I'm doing it as a children's book with the adventures or misadventures of this young Glasstig, which is a kind of Scottish fairy that is one part vampire and one part brownie. They're generally known for their goat's legs, to the point that a lot of New Age types like to pretend that they're Celtic satyrs. But anyway, I was sort of playing around with it as sort of doing a modern-day version of Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens taking place in Green Lake.
You may want to explain for people outside of Washington State where Green Lake is.
Green Lake is a very popular park in North Seattle that is about a 20-minute walk from the university and the area called the U District, which is very, very lush, pretty. A lot of people jog there. And I like to go there to brainstorm, and I've done a handful of watercolors there as well. But otherwise, I think it makes for a good setting for this character to play in. And let's see, along with my film choices today, I also finished binge watching My Hero Academia.
My wife and I are big fans of that show.
I'm not completely sure if I'm the target audience for it, but I did mostly thought it was well done.
Let's see. Where's my share screen button? There we go. So once again, I'm going to be working on drawing obscure movie monster aliens.
I thought you already did that one. I know you've been using it as maybe I'm getting it mixed up with the angler fish, but I thought you'd been using that guy as your logo, a different version of that guy for your logo for a while.
You've been getting this one mixed up with my angler fish. Oh, sorry.
But it may be slightly obscure, but I do like that movie.
Sorry, I lost my monitor there for a moment. I'm going to reconnect. Yeah, this is from Attack the Block. Pretty easy monster to draw. So.
Yep, this black fur and teeth.
Yeah, I might put in some dark blue highlights, but right now I need to expand.
The whole point of that thing's design is it has no highlights.
Well, I kind of like the. I'll put in a nearly dark blue. I mean, a nearly black blue right here on the nails. What I'm doing right now is I need to extend this out for when I do an 11 by 17 print. And so I'm going to add some more hairs over here and extend out this side. So that's going to be, yeah, I'm going to draw a hair. So exciting. Did anyone else besides me see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I saw it last week.
Haven't seen it yet. Haven't had the time.
I'm pretty much liked it. Was very happy with it.
I'm willing to give it a 7. It's only, what, the 19th movie in the franchise?
I thought they were up to 23 now.
I thought, wait a minute, wasn't Infinity Wars the 18th one?
I'd have to look it up. I'm more than happy to take your word for it. But for some reason, I thought it was more than that.
Anyhow, someone's signing in. We're trying to sign in on a landline. Roger, we don't see a camera.
No, yes. I'll try to fix that.
Well, I think Roger's trying hard to get on. Yeah, I think it's his first time.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, Roger, do you have a camera?
For share screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you do is if you can see us, then if you move your cursor over to the left side of your screen where you see us. Once you get to the left side, some icons should pop up. There'll be one, the second from the top, and it'll be green with a little white arrow on it. You do a roll, okay, do a rollover on that. They'll say screen share, and then you click on that, and you should be able to select your monitor. Oh, you almost had it. If you may want to pull up your artwork to block that infinity feed thing that happens, or you could just select the application, like Photoshop or whatever you're drawing in, and then it'll only show the application and not the rest of your screen.
Right. Hey, is that better?
Let's see. No, we're not seeing anything yet. We're not seeing you or your desktop. Did you activate the feed? Everybody's hanging on with a bated breath.
Huh.
Now, you said in a text to me that you were test trying this with a friend of yours?
Yeah, he can't make it.
I was just wondering how that test went.
Oh.
Locke, what is that character you're drawing for the centerfold?
It's a story isn't available till issue 2, but they want me to do a he's some sort of mutant guy, so it's really a kind of like a David and Goliath kind of story. So, but it takes place in sometime in the future and all that stuff. So. Get on again. Okay, so the Kickstarter is basically a comic magazine. It's kind of like a homage to, remember the old classic epic creepy tales kind of magazines?
Yeah.
Well, that's what this is. It's called Cauldron. And right now we're trying to do maybe 2 issues a year, where we're getting a whole bunch of talents from around the area and all that stuff, doing stories part of it. So the first 3 stories consist of kind of like a one of them is kind of like Conan the Barbarian kind of style. In the first issue, the second story in there is kind of like a old homage to the kaiju, or those sea monster of Japan, where a blind lady kind of saves the, kind of like a steampunk era and all that stuff. And I believe the third issue is, or sorry, not the third issue, but the third story is another homage to another, I'm trying to remember, like sci-fi or something like that. So that's where that is. And I'm working on issue 2, where it's about, it's kind of like a mutant sci-fi future where, David and Goliath, and our hero is a little girl who has telekinesis, who can, you know, shoot marbles, pretty much. That's the story I'm working on, but I'm working on the pinup to be available with the first issue, so that way, you know, hopefully we just passed the 3,000 marker funding, so which is kind of nice. So all the print runs are taken care of. Now all we're doing is anything above 3,000 will pretty much go towards paying the artist, like page rate, if we can get it. So it's kind of nice. So that's what we're working on. So a lot of us is like literally a lot of the guys they'll be the writers, and the 3 artists that was doing the stuff. He's doing a lot of podcasts. You know, they're just running around and stuff like that. And I'm posting and you know, just trying to share as much as I can about the Kickstarter, trying to get as much into it as possible. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now.
Wish I had something new to report, but I basically had a very relaxing weekend of doing absolutely nothing, not even yard work, because it was just too hot to go outside.
Yeah.
So I was watching your drawings, Bill, that you were posting. You were at the zoo again?
Yes. Not my best stuff, but I thought the 2 orangutan ones came out pretty well. It's interesting, like going to the art museum, how well things go there is always a mixed bag, considering the animals have absolutely no obligation to cooperate.
What, the orangutan didn't throw poop at you?
Oh, well, it's interesting. Both of the older females were raised by humans, and so they're kind of interested in us as we are of them.
Right.
The newest edition, Godek, was pretty much raised an orangutan properly. So while he definitely, being a very active young guy, is certainly a crowd pleaser, but for the most part, he doesn't care about the people watching him. So it's rather funny. I frequently find myself showing her what I drew of her afterwards, and occasionally she will seem to have an opinion.
Oh, and what is her? How is she a harsh critic?
Sometimes it's because it's or at least snorts and taps the glass. I have no idea what that means, but that's the rather interesting thing. She takes enough of an interest that, you know how they always say don't tap on the glass,
right?
Well, it's sort of like I had this really interesting experience to discover why you don't do that, because the first time I was one of the first times I was doing a drawing of her, I was a quarter of a way blocking things out, and the next thing I know, she's come right up to me, and I'm going, okay, I have to start doing a new sketch so started doing a portrait, and the next thing I know, she's tapping the glass to get my attention, and I'm going, okay, so that's what it's like.
Was she asking to see what you were drawing?
I'm not sure. I mean, as I said, I don't like to anthropomorphize. I don't like to assume that they are. I mean, by all accounts, she's very interested in what people have in their pockets. Well, she had. Well, I think that's her. They're one of them. Of the two older females, Malati and Chinda, one likes to see what's in your pockets, and the other one has a thing for ears. And I can never completely remember which one's which. But I'm pretty sure Malati was the pockets girl.
Sticker Mule sent me an ad today. They're offering 50 half-inch buttons for $9.
Yeah, same thing.
I've never gone the button route before.
It doesn't hurt. Give it a shot.
Well, my stickers from Sticker Mule showed up last week, and I was very pleased with how they came out.
Yeah, they looked really good. I saw that on Instagram there. They turned out really well.
I have a couple of ideas for stickers, so I probably would want to try them at one point. I'm always not completely sure about just what make the best collectibles when you have a table.
Well, the reason I'm doing this is because all of my friends have stickers on the table, and they say, well, they go fast. And I want to see whether or not I used to have a single dollar item on the table, and I used to spend a lot of time selling it. And but you sell a bunch of those, and then you only have enough money left to buy lunch.
Yeah, I mean, I did pins one year, but either people would think they were freebies or they were invisible.
Now I've been doing pins, some homemade ones, and charging $10 for them, and that's been going really well. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll do some enamel pins instead, where I'm not having to do all the production work. The type of pins I was doing is where you use a laser printer shrinky-dink film, print onto that, and then shrink that down, and then Mod Podge the top of it, and glue a pin on the back. Put that in a little tiny bag with some cardboard labeling that you print out, and it looks fairly slick and professional. It's all in the matter of packaging. I grew up in the era where the big fad was pet rock.
Oh dear, that takes me back.
And it was all about the packaging. I mean, it wasn't anything more than a rock in a box.
Yeah.
You didn't even get your choice of what the rock looked like. You just bought the rock blind, You'll open up the box and you'll pull out your rocks. And, well, that's my rock. Paid $10 for this rock.
I would never clear whether those were something that was marketed or stuff that people made on their own, but it was actually a company doing it.
Yeah, it was a guy who came up with the concept. Yeah, a graphic artist came up with the concept. Figured, the key behind the perfect advertising gimmick is selling people something they don't need. Sort of like mouthwash. That was never before the Listerine campaign for mouthwash. No one bought mouthwash.
It sounds like your story about the people who were marketing Red Bull.
It was in the early days of advertising. Until then, Listerine had been used as a floor cleaner, as a disinfectant.
Yeah.
Someone got the great idea. You know, we could tell people to gargle with this. But why would anyone want to do that? Well, we'll tell them that halitosis. That's right. We'll use that word. There wasn't even a word halitosis until they came up with it.
Really?
No, people just said bad breath. But you make it sound, oh, he's got halitosis.
I always thought that was one of the British terms, because I only heard it, the first time I ever heard it was in a Terry Pratchett novel.
So I went to another get-together session today called Freelance Fandango. A bunch of freelancers in Tacoma. But as it turned out, looks like we lost.
Roger?
Yeah. I think maybe he's trying to solve his camera problem. Better luck next time.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd like to go to. I mean, I was going to a freelancer group for a while, and then I got fed up with the fact that they were the main guy running it was spending most of his efforts plugging this bidding page, and where essentially the pushing off your skills for stuff I wouldn't be charging if I were some ridiculously low price, almost down, even below what a lot of the some of those South American contract workers charge.
You mean the $5 thing?
Yeah. And every time I started quoting guild stuff on him, he'd saying, well, you got to charge this because somebody else will go lower.
Someone else will always go lower.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed, yeah.
So I got a couple of movies that I'm going through on Netflix right now. I'm talking about the DVD, not the streaming service, because there's just not a whole lot on the streaming service. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but not compared to what you can get off of the DVD service. The amount of old movies that are available is phenomenal. And
at the moment, I still am using the excuse that I have Scarecrow in the library.
Hey, if I had Scarecrow down the street, I'd be using Scarecrow. Scarecrow's a great resource. And in case you guys didn't know, Scarecrow is a video store in Seattle. one of the few remaining ones. And one of the reasons it's remained is it has stuff nobody else has. Well, first of all, there aren't any other video stores. But in the second place, they'll have old VHS rentals, a very large library of them. That was actually one of the things they wanted to keep, which takes up the most amount of space for them. I got a behind-the-scenes tour as a Kickstarter supporter for them when they went and became a nonprofit or a co-op or something like that.
Yeah. I think they're technically just nonprofit. If they are a co-op, I haven't heard them use the term.
And storing those, they store them very much like an archive library where all the shelves are stacked on top of each other, and then you use a crank to move the shelves apart so that you can walk between that little section of the shelves. Otherwise, it all compresses on itself. It's a great way of saving space.
It's 5 o'clock.
But I love the fact that they have entire shelves dedicated to one genre, like Bigfoot movies.
Oh, yes.
Complete shelf filled with all the various Bigfoot movies ever produced. I like how they list things not only by movie genre, but by director. And it's a nice two-story building. And you can get that old feeling of going in and looking around and then finding something.
Yeah, I always like to go with a plan because much as I love the place, I have a very bad case of what I like to call Baskin-Robbins syndrome.
My wife has that every time she looks through her watch list on Netflix. She spends an hour trying to pick a movie and just pick one. I'm at the video store. I'm having my experience. They're hogging the TV. That's why we have lists, movie lists. I'm going through my movie list. I know. Pick one. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. Oh my God. So tonight is date night.
So this is why this conversation is fresh in your head, I take it.
Oh, no. I have the conversation tonight is going to be, where should we eat? And I have a rule where I'll suggest 3 things, and if she says I don't know what I want to eat, and I make 3 recommendations, she has to pick one of the 3 recommendations. If she doesn't come up with a recommendation herself. And that way we avoid the whole, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Well, I'm in that hangry phase. I love that word, hangry. I think Snickers did a world service by coming up with that word.
My daughter tells me that all the time.
I don't think I've heard this one before.
Oh yeah, hangry is when you're so hungry that you're starting to get angry.
Ah.
It happens a lot in road trips, let me tell you.
Exactly.
If someone's hangry, you better pull over and just eat at a Starbucks if you have to, but you need to get food in somebody. Your daughter tells you that? Your daughter's a little wee thing, though.
No. The older one, the 11-year-old.
Oh, okay.
The little one just broke my iPad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she stood on it. You know the new one, the 5th generation, whatever.
Oh, she stood on it?
Yeah, Gorilla Glass my butt.
Why was she standing on it?
I don't know. She was just.
Was it Dance Revolution or what was it?
No idea. You know, they're kids, so I stopped trying to figure it out.
Oh, you were such a lucky man.
Yeah, $145 to have it fixed.
So it wasn't under warranty?
It passes warranty just by a year.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
I've been being sorely tempted by the new one.
Yeah.
To the point where I am frequently been down there and drawing for 10 minutes on one of the 2 software platforms.
Yeah, Procreate is the software I had too, and Sketch Pro and all this other stuff. But I saw Manga Studio, but I'm not sure. $8.99 a month is a little much.
I don't know what's going through their head with the subscription idea. I think that's one of the reasons it's getting such a low rating on the Apple app page.
By the way, I just have to say Manga Studio.
Manga Studio. Because I mean, I'm tempted because I mean I like Manga Studio. I'm using it now, but why would they have a subscription for the IO9 when they don't have it for the Office computer?
Yeah, I hope not. Throwing bob wires around his arm.
I'm trying to make the teeth on this guy look sharper. Because bob wire on his arm is, the very, the new look in the Gap.
That's right.
From the year 2070. I remember one time when I was buying jeans at this jean wholesaler, and seeing that my brother Cliff picks out a pair of jeans that's got studs going down the seam of it. And I look for a pair just like that with studs going down the seam of it. And my brother said, "Mom, don't let him buy those." She says, "Why not? They fit. But they look good on me." I said, "Oh, I think they look good on me too. You wear them, I can't wear mine. I really want to wear mine." "Oh, like you're the height of fashion."
That's
You're
right.
the height of fashion. So you're saying I shouldn't be fashionable? Oh, it was a tip. I didn't realize how vain my brother was until, well, actually, I knew he was vain, but by the way, that's my brother Cliff. That's Cliff, Cliff. So, not my other brothers.
Sam, how?
Hey, Roger. Hey, you got your camera working.
That sure did. You guys are probably almost done, eh?
Let's see. We got about another 20 minutes. We usually
Okay,
clips
great.
at,
Some of my stuff.
yeah, start showing us. Banker's box.
Yeah.
I see a clipboard. Yay.
Well, what the heck? Oh, there. All right.
So did either of you guys see Attack the Block?
I did.
I haven't yet.
Why I was making pithy remarks about your choice of highlights.
I thought Attack the Block was an excellent premise.
And it's how Finn in Star Wars got his feet and got his star status. Okay, I think this baby's almost done. What does everybody think?
You know, Bill, you did a bunch of things there that I was going to ask you to do. But I can't ask you to do them now because you already did them.
Okay.
But I am seeing little white. I saw where you've colored it and shaded it towards the shoreline.
Right.
But I'm still seeing like little white gaps underneath the grass that's close along the shoreline that looks lighter than the blue that's above it.
Right.
So, and I'm also seeing right along the bottom there that the blue's going lighter all of a sudden right along the edge. It's like you didn't carry the airbrush down all the way. So that's the only comment I have on that so far.
Okay.
There's a white gap near the left side.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And where the trunks is at the bottom where the water meets.
Yeah.
Right there too.
Locke, I was just noticing on your futuristic guy that he's got runner's nipples. Is that why he's got band-aids over them?
Exactly. You know, when you have barbed wires around your arm, those sensitive areas. I figure I'd throw in my little bit of fun.
All right. No.
You
Well,
look.
guys, I tried to get the application of my drawing pad up, but it won't work.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so I guess I'll have to stay live. Yeah.
Try again next week, Roger. It was nice seeing you.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm still here, you know. I'm just gonna.
Oh, there you go.
Show you. I don't know why it's mirroring. This should be on the left side. Clipboard. Oh well. Okay. So I won't draw any lettering for now. Yeah. Right. There. What do you think? Alrighty. Thank you.
Anybody going to San Diego?
No, I'm not going to go to. I got too many other comic book conventions to do.
Oh, I miss that place.
I went exactly once. Probably one of the last couple of years when it was still sane.
Yeah.
I had a chance to. The National Cartoon Society usually has a booth available, so I could always go down there and be at the booth. But it's sort of like for a limited time, have to turn over the pass to somebody else. It's just that when the National Cartoon Society had a booth here during Emerald City Comic Con, Emerald City made the mistake of having all the clubs on one of the aisles and didn't mix them up and put them with other people. It was the deadest aisle because nobody went down that, thinking, oh, they just want us to join these clubs. I'm not a cartoonist. I wanted to buy stuff. So it was tumbleweeds. Let's see. There is a show streaming on Netflix that I've kind of been binge watching. It's Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Oh, I know of that one.
I really like that show. Okay, now I have to figure out how to do this guy's teeth. Because,
Maybe perhaps a light blue to make it look a little more glowy.
well, what I'm thinking is that they should all be gradients with, light at the tips and a darker blue at the bottom. So I'm going to try that out and see how well that works. I gotta get that right shade of blue,
I think I'm declaring this puppy done. Oh, wait a minute. I still have a branch to color. Okay, I declare this puppy done. Oh, except for that.
All right, final.
You sure about that?
Uh,
I think it looks pretty good, Bill.
okay.
So, Roger, I have to ask, how many times have you drawn that tree on the cliff?
Many. Too many.
One of the things I would draw endlessly would be tennis shoes. Just couldn't get enough of drawing tennis shoes.
Well, my fave is drawn feet with the one toe like that. Similar to the old Don Martin Mad Magazine.
Yeah. Cocked toe. I never have been brave enough to draw cocked toes.
Okay.
His ability to draw things, body parts, with sharp angles like tongues. I've never seen a person with a sharp angled tongue until I saw his cartoons.
You said Cocteau just then? The same guy who directed Beauty and the Beast?
No, I said cartoons.
Right. I thought he did a few on the side. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, you said cartoons, right. What was the sharp tongue guy?
Oh, the guy from Mad Magazine. Roger, what's his name again? You just said it a moment ago. Was it
Don Martin?
Don Martin.
Oh, yeah, I used to love Don Martin.
Yeah, who wouldn't? You know, who didn't? I mean, his lines were just gigantically pure and sharp and detailed. He was about the only reason us bought the magazine, right?
Well, him and Al Jaffe and Mort Drucker's movie satires. I mean, if I had a dime for every time I only knew about the movie through the satire, which really made my viewing of them years later weird.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Because you were expecting this and you got that.
Yeah, or the fact that they weren't taking it. No, but it was almost impossible to take any of it seriously. I mean, for example, I remember just in their take on the Shootist and True Grit made me impossible to. I mean, yeah, Rooster Coburn isn't exactly a serious character in the John Wayne version, but after reading the Mort Drucker version first, it was impossible to take it seriously at all.
Right.
Yeah, I got the lower set of teeth done.
I just bought this woodless graphite pencil.
Yeah.
Works like a charm. I got around to buying the famous animator's pencil. The hang on a sec. Blackwing.
Ah.
Blackwing. It works just like combo number 6. So no big deal.
I just went to the art store today myself and bought a new pen, but it's nothing big. It's just a metallic silver Sharpie for signing prints. Because the poster I did was pretty much all black, so I figure I better signing it with a black marker. It's not going to really work this time around. So I'll have to report back next week how well the movie goes. So Roger, here in Tacoma, there is a theater called the Blue Mouse.
Yeah.
And every third Friday night, they show an old horror movie from the 80s. And they have local artists come in and sell prints that they've created of the various movies.
Right.
Back the block was the 90s. Back the noughts.
What, The Return of the Living Dead?
Oh, sorry. I thought this was your... Okay.
So
I've got that same idea, but I want to do movies from the 1930s, 40s, maybe comedy and or horror. Here in Spokane.
The way they work it at our local theater is a guy went in and contacted them. They said, well, if you cover the cost of the movie and the seat and how much it costs to seat people,
right?
Which is let's see, it's not inexpensive. It's about $2,000, but he can usually get people seated in there for $6 a head, and he manages to cover costs. He doesn't make much of a profit off of it.
Right.
He does get sometimes he gets a full crowd in. Other times he only gets a partial crowd. Like Child's Play 2 didn't draw that many people. Neither, Dolls only got half a theater. But when you have something like the Blob, and also Alien. The Blob, I think we got like 170 people that night, and the Alien was practically sold out. It was a 200-seat theater and 190 people showed up.
Right, right.
For a 10 o'clock showing on a Friday night, one time, you know, that's not so bad. So I'm hoping that the theater or rather the print that I made for this will sell out. My prints usually sell out. My last one didn't, but the last time I made sure I had plenty of them. The guy who did the Alien one, he was charging 15 and 20 for his prints. Most of the other artists only charge 10 though. And I figured, yeah, I'll just charge 10.
How many prints did you have available?
Oh, well, there'll be about 60. Though about 6 of them I have to give away. I have a couple pre-orders in. You only have half an hour to sell these things. And because it's just the half hour before the movie starts.
Right.
So the sales are fast and furious. I also have some Return of the Living Dead glow-in-the-dark t-shirts. And I'm hoping to sell those. And I also have a deck of obscure Movie Monster playing cards, and I'll be selling those. And of course the stickers. But I think what I'll do is I have other horror movie posters, but I'm thinking I won't put those out or sell them, so that just so that I don't have to worry about people trying to make a choice when they come up to the table. And then dawdling, because then you get nothing but table blockers. And I'm trying to sell stuff ahead of time as well.
Right.
Why isn't this? Going up? Ah, that's why. So no philosophical debates on the proper way to pronounce Thanos this time. No harsh critiques over any movies.
Mm-hmm.
And a relatively.
Well, I was disappointed by Carboneras, if that helps.
Carabiners.
Carabiners. I mean, yeah, apparently, according to one of the critic who was doing a video commentary, was saying you're not supposed to like it. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. I'm going, yeah, that argument only goes so far.
Gentlemen, I didn't realize the time was getting away from us. It is past 5:30, and I have to start making preparations to pick up my wife.
Well, enjoy your dinner, and
so I'm going to do the sign off now. You've been watching another episode of Epic Sketch Time. If you'd like to join this online drawing group, Down below in the doobly-doo, there's a sign-up link. You can also contact me at markmonlux@comcast.net. That's spelled MERKMONLUX. You can also see previous Epic Sketch Times on my YouTube channel, and just look for the list, Epic Sketch Time. Roger, Bill, and Patrick, I'll see you all next week.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.